Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free English ebook before it's gone. Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one, and the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. Today, we'll learn conversational phrases about occupations. After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about your job and ask what somebody does for a living. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your occupation PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue. What do you do? I'm an artist. Listen to it again. What do you do? I'm an artist. First of all, you need to learn how to say, what do you do? What do you do? Listen to it again. What do you do? What do you do? Now, how do you answer this question? This is the pattern you'll need. I'm an, your occupation. I'm an, your occupation. For example, I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I'm an artist. Here are a few more professions you can use with the same pattern. Police officer. Police officer. Police officer. Teacher. 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 Doctor. 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 Engineer. 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 Now, listen to some examples. What do you do? I'm a teacher. What do you do? I'm a doctor. What do you do? I am an engineer. Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what do you do? What do you do? Imagine you're a doctor. Do you remember how to say, doctor? Doctor. Doctor. Say, I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor. Now answer the question saying that you are a doctor. What do you do? I'm a doctor. Now, imagine you're a teacher. Do you remember how to say teacher? Teacher. Teacher. Say, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. Now, answer the question saying that you are a teacher. What do you do? I'm a teacher. Now, imagine you're an engineer. Do you remember how to say engineer? Engineer. Engineer. Say, I'm an engineer. I am an engineer. Now, Answer the question saying that you are an engineer. What do you do? I am an engineer.
Hey everyone, Alicia here. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, "How's your mother?" After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about well-being and ask how someone is doing. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Conversation About Family Well-Being PDF cheat sheet for free. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue. How's your mother? She's fine. Listen to it again. How's your mother? She's fine. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, "How's your mother?" How's your mother? Listen to it again. How's your mother? How's your mother? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is she's state of well-being. She's state of well-being. For example, she's fine. She's fine. She's fine. Here are a few expressions related to well-being that you can use with this pattern. Great. 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 Fine. 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 So-so. 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 Not good. Not good. Not good. Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers. How's your mother? She's great. How's your mother? She's so-so. How's your mother? She's not good. Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, "How's your mother?" How's your mother? Imagine she's great. Do you remember how to say, "Great"? Great. Great. Say, "She's great." She's great. Now, answer the question saying she's great. How's your mother? She's great. Now imagine she's so-so. Do you remember how to say so-so? So-so. So-so. Say, "She's so-so." She's so-so. Now, answer the question saying she's so-so. How's your mother? She's so-so. Now imagine she's not good. Do you remember how to say not good? Not good. Not good. Say, "She's not good." She's not good. Now, Answer the question saying she's not good. How's your mother? She's not good.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Most people who learn a foreign language learn it so that they can one day have real-life conversations with native speakers. When you start out learning and crack open your first textbook or listen to your first podcast, having a real conversation can feel like a fantasy. When everything about a language feels new, it can be overwhelming. But this couldn't be further from the truth. While it does take a significant amount of time and effort to become fluent, having a conversation might not be as far off as you think. In this video, we'll look at 3 ways you can boost your conversational skills and start talking to native speakers. Number 1, find native speakers and practice with them. It's unlikely you live near a big group of native speakers to practice with. If you happen to be in a major or international city, your chances may be better. Check and see if your city has a general language exchange. Chances are there could be a native speaker there who is also trying to learn another language. Practicing in person with a native speaker is probably the most interesting option for honing your speaking skills. But if you can't find anyone where you live, the next best option is to look online. Luckily for language learners, the past 10 years or so have seen an explosion in online language exchange sites. On these websites, you can search for someone who is a native speaker of your target language and is also learning your native language. The idea behind a language exchange is that you communicate with them via video or text chat, and half of the time, they help you practice your target language. And for the other half, you help them practice theirs. Practicing via an online language exchange is a highly effective way to practice your conversational skills. Number 2, work on pronunciation. Pronunciation is often an overlooked skill when it comes to learning a foreign language. Most people think of a good foreign accent as a luxury rather than a necessity. But what most people don't talk about is how having a good accent boosts your listening and comprehension skills. If you can hear a sound from a foreign language and know how to make it yourself, then you're more likely to understand native speakers when they talk at normal speed, and you're also more likely to remember any new words or phrases you come across. Having a good accent means that the language no longer sounds foreign. Instead, it sounds familiar, maybe even natural. So how do you go about perfecting your accent? The best way is to break down the language into its individual sounds. Make note of any sounds that are the same or similar to your native language and of those that are different. Of the sounds that are different, spend your time practicing the ones that you find the hardest to say correctly. After you're comfortable with the individual sounds, you can start linking together words and phrases. This is where accent practice starts to get really fun and interesting. Get your hands on some native speaker audio from a TV show, song, or podcast. Play the audio back and listen closely a few times. Take note of how words blend together in speech. Then, do your best to imitate what you hear, trying to match the speaker's emphasis and intonation. Our language learning program's playback feature is perfect for this. Record yourself and compare it to the original recording. Rinse and repeat until you're comfortable with the audio selection, and then move on to something more difficult. This is how you can break through the accent barrier and really start to make the language your own. Number 3, learn phrases, not just individual words. Learning grammar and individual words is great, but it's not the only approach you should take if you want to speak fluently. In addition to your regular grammar and vocabulary, try learning whole phrases, even if you aren't totally sure how they work grammatically. Learn phrases that are specific to your needs. It's a good idea to learn phrases that are grouped around a certain setting or subject, such as simple greetings or introductions, questions for getting to know someone, or traveling comfortably. You can even learn filler phrases, which you can use so that you have something to say when, well, you don't know what to say. Learning phrases like this will help you become conversational faster. You may not understand what you're saying literally, but as long as you know the general meaning behind the phrase and know when to use it, you'll be able to talk like a native. Eventually, your knowledge of grammar and vocabulary should catch up with the phrases you know. Learning a new language should feel like an adventure. There will be plateaus and periods in your learning where it feels like you're hitting a wall, but being able to speak with native speakers and have real conversations will help you combat language fatigue. After all, talking to someone face-to-face in a foreign language is one of the main reasons we start learning in the first place. And for even more ways to gain conversation skills, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey everyone, Alicia here. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what's the matter? After watching this video, you'll be able to make complaints and ask someone else if they're having any issues. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Making Complaints PDF cheat sheet for free. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
What's the matter?
The office is hot. Listen to it again.
What's the matter?
What's the matter? The office is hot. The office is hot. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what's the matter? That's,
What's the matter?
listen to it again.
What's the matter? What's the matter?
Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is, the office is, adjective. For example, the office is hot. The office is hot. The office is hot. Here are a few more examples you can use with the same pattern to make complaints. Hot. 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 Cold. 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 Noisy. 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 Dirty. 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 Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
What's the matter?
The office is cold.
What's the matter?
The office is noisy.
What's the matter?
The office is dirty. Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what's the matter?
What's the matter?
Imagine the office is cold. Do you remember how to say cold? Cold. Cold. Say, the office is cold. The office is cold. Now answer the question saying the office is cold.
What's the matter?
The office is cold. Now imagine the office is noisy. Do you remember how to say noisy? Noisy. Noisy. Say, the office is noisy. The office is noisy. Now, answer the question saying the office is noisy.
What's the matter?
The office is noisy. Now imagine the office is dirty. Do you remember how to say dirty? Dirty. Dirty. Say, the office is dirty. The office is dirty. Now answer the question, saying the office is dirty.
What's the matter?
The office is dirty.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
You've studied for a while and are ready to talk to people and practice what you've learned. But where do you start? Starting a conversation in a new language can seem a bit intimidating. How do you just jump into it? In this video, we'll look at 5 ways to start conversations. Number 1. Introduce yourself in your target language. This is usually one of the first things you learn when you start studying a new language. And sometimes, starting a conversation, or continuing one, is as simple as introducing yourself. Number 2. Talking about the weather. This is a universal talking point. People talk about the weather all over the world. And just saying, "It's really nice today," is enough to start a conversation. A great way to practice your weather conversation skills is to check out our Can-Do lesson pathway. This series of lessons teaches you how to talk about the weather in your target language. Number 3. Give compliments. Compliments are a great way to start a conversation. You can compliment something about your conversation partner's city, country, or something specific to them personally. "Hey, your bag is super cute," or "That ice cream looks delicious." These kinds of compliments can lead to further conversation about what you complimented. In this case, it could be fashion or a local restaurant. This is a great way to make quick connections with people. Number 4. Ask for help. For example, you can ask for directions, ask about prices, or request recommendations for restaurants or shopping spots, and let the conversation go from there. People are usually happy to lend a helping hand to tourists who are visiting their city. Number 5. Learn phrases for transactions. This can include getting a room at a hotel or telling a taxi driver where to go. When you're traveling overseas, you'll need to talk to other people in your target language. And while this might be a bit scary at first, you'll find that the people you meet are just happy that you're trying to communicate with them. So get started talking in your target language now. For even more tips on how to start conversations, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to ask and answer the question, "How do you say this?" After watching this video, you'll be able to ask someone how a word is pronounced. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your How to Say Something PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue. How do you say this?
It's parking lot.
Listen to it again. How do you say this?
It's parking lot.
First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, "How do you say this?" That's, "How do you say this?" Listen to it again. How do you say this? How do you say this? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
It's
word. For example, it's parking lot.
It's parking lot. It's parking lot.
Here are a few useful words you can use with the same pattern. Parking lot. Parking lot. Parking lot. Giraffe. 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 Travel. 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 Invasion. 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 Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers. How do you say this? It's giraffe. How do you say this? It's travel. How do you say this? It's invasion. Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, how do you say this? How do you say this? Imagine it's the word giraffe. Do you remember how to say giraffe? Giraffe. Giraffe. Say, it's giraffe. It's giraffe. Now answer the question saying, it's giraffe. How do you say this? It's giraffe. Now imagine the word is travel. Do you remember how to say travel? Travel. Travel. Say, it's travel. It's travel. Now, answer the question saying it's travel. How do you say this? It's travel. Now imagine the word is invasion. Do you remember how to say invasion? Invasion. Invasion. Say, it's invasion. It's invasion. Now answer the question saying, it's invasion. How do you say this? It's invasion.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Want to speak your target language with confidence and impress native speakers? When learning to speak a new language, you have lots of things to think about, including grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Because you're thinking of all of these things and trying to speak, it can be difficult to communicate with confidence, especially in the beginning. This is why it's helpful to make confidence-building exercises part of your language learning process. In this video, you'll learn 7 ways to boost your confidence. 1. Read out loud. This might seem pretty basic, but it's a great way to practice speaking. Reading aloud lets you practice speaking without having to think about grammar or things to talk about. Reading out loud lets you focus on your pronunciation and the rhythm of the language. It can help you learn to speak more smoothly and quickly, without even thinking about it. If you're using our lessons, read the dialogue out loud as you listen. You can read along with the dialogue tool, the lesson notes, or the transcript. 2. Read like a child. This might sound strange, but think about children learning to read. They go slow and sound everything out. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 tries before they read a new word smoothly, and a few more tries before they can read it at a natural pace. This example applies to language learning too. If you find a complex sentence in something you're reading, read it slowly at first, then speed up. With practice, you'll be able to say it easily. It might feel a bit silly to speak very slowly, but this kind of practice can help you identify tough sounds you might miss or say incorrectly when reading quickly. 3. Use the dialogue breakdown tool. If you're using our site, this is a great tool to take advantage of. It breaks down lesson conversations into individual lines. You can listen to the audio for each line, learn what each line means, and can reread and review as much as you want. 4. Use the voice recorder to record and compare yourself with native speakers. Just click on the microphone icon next to each line in the dialogue section. You can use this tool to perfect your pronunciation if you like, but this is also something you can use to work on speaking with confidence at native level speed. You'll find this tool in the dialogue section of all of our lessons. 5. Repeat and review old lesson conversations. Reviewing what you've studied in the past is the best way to make sure you maintain what you've learned. Go back to older lessons, download the lesson dialogue tracks, and re-listen to the conversations again and again. Or you can reread the dialogue lines from previous lessons until you've mastered them all. 6. Shadow conversations. Repeat what you hear out loud. This tactic is important, but it can be tricky when you're doing a brand new lesson. If you're reviewing dialogues from lessons you've done, though, it's super easy to do. Just listen to the dialogue and repeat what you hear. Shadowing means mimicking the speaker as soon as they speak, following their intonation and rhythms as closely as possible. 7. Send recordings to your Premium Plus teacher. If you want to speak with confidence, there's no better confidence boost than feedback from a native speaker, and you get just that with a Premium Plus teacher. You can record yourself reciting a lesson dialogue or any dialogue of your own, and your teacher will give you specific tips on how to improve. From the tips your teacher gives you, choose at least one and practice, practice, practice. Being able to react quickly and with confidence in a conversation is typically not something you can do on your first try, but if you continue practicing, you'll gradually find yourself speaking with ease. And for even more ways to build your speaking confidence, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what's your favorite number? After watching this video, you'll be able to say many numbers and ask someone their favorite number. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Talking About Numbers PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
What's your favorite number? It's 7.
Listen to it again.
What's your favorite number? It's 7.
First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what's your favorite number? That's
What's your favorite number?
listen to it again.
What's your favorite number? What's your favorite number?
Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
It's
number. For example, it's 7.
It's 7. It's 7.
Here are a few more numbers you can use with the same pattern. 7, 7, 7. 2, 2, 2. 4, 4, 4. 9, 9, 9. Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
What's your favorite number?
It's 2.
What's your favorite number?
It's 4.
What's your favorite number?
It's 9. Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, "What's your favorite number?"
What's your favorite number?
Imagine it's 2. Do you remember how to say 2? 2. 2. Say, "It's 2." It's 2. Now answer the question saying, "It's 2."
What's your favorite number?
It's 2. Now imagine it's 4. Do you remember how to say 4? 4. 4. Say, "It's 4." It's 4. Now answer the question by saying, "It's 4."
What's your favorite number?
It's 4. Now imagine it's 9. Do you remember how to say 9? 9. 9. Say, "It's 9." It's 9. Now answer the question saying, "It's 9."
What's your favorite number?
It's 9.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Want to speak and understand more of your target language? If so, of course, you'll need to know more words and phrases than you do now. In this video, we'll cover 5 ways to master new words and phrases fast. Number 1, use our free vocabulary list. This is a free library of vocabulary and phrase lessons for all kinds of situations. You can learn words and phrases for current events, holidays like Halloween and Thanksgiving, and useful topics like the top 10 ways to say hello, conversational phrases, and more. You'll learn phrases that you won't find in textbooks. If you want to learn extra fast, use the slideshow tool. Just tap or click on View Slideshow, then sit back and review the words and phrases. Find the vocabulary lists in the vocabulary drop-down menu on the site. These vocabulary lists are free for all users. Number 2, take the audio and video lessons. One of the best ways to learn new words is by hearing and using them in conversations. This is because it gives you the opportunity to understand how the words are actually used. In every lesson dialogue, you'll likely come across some words you don't know. But don't worry, because our teachers translate everything. When you hear the conversation again at the end of the lesson, you'll be familiar with the words you didn't know at first. Number 3, learn with our 2,000 most common words list. A quick question. How many words do you think you need for conversational fluency? 3,000? 5,000? It's actually not as many as you think. Language experts say you need about 1,500 words to reach conversational fluency. With our 2,000 most common words list, you'll get access to key vocabulary words you need to boost your conversation skills. The words are broken down into simple categories, such as adjectives, nouns, verbs, food, drinks, numbers, months, and so on. So you can go category by category and focus on what you're most interested in first. With this tip, we're not talking about paper flashcards. We're talking about the smart flashcards that you can find in our premium study tools. This is an automatic system individualized for each member based on their study needs. First, you'll use the cards to check your knowledge. Then, according to your answers, the cards will be sorted according to which words you need more practice with. Words that you struggle with will be shown to you more and more. You'll see words that you know well less often. This system helps you study more efficiently. It displays the words you need to work on and knows when you should refresh your knowledge. This helps make sure you don't forget vocabulary. In every study session, these cards will help you refresh your memory on the words you learned last time and introduce new words. Number 5. Use the words. After you learn a new word, using it right away is crucial to remembering it. So, when you're done with a lesson or a vocab list, here's something you can do. Leave a comment. Make up a sample sentence and post it in the comment section. Write it down in a notebook, or shadow the word with a lessons dialogue. Our language learning program is full of tools that can help you speak more. Just pick one and get started. If you want to unlock all of these study tools, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what kind of movies do you like? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about movies and ask other people about their favorite kinds of movies. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Talking About Movies and TV PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue. What kind of movies do you like?
I like horror movies.
Listen to it again. What kind of movies do you like?
I like horror movies.
First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what kind of movies do you like? That's, what kind of movies do you like? Listen to it again. What kind of movies do you like? What kind of movies do you like? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
I like
type of movie.
movies.
For example, I like horror movies.
I like horror movies. I like horror movies.
Here are a few more kinds of movies you can use with the same pattern to talk about movies. Horror, horror, horror. Comedy, comedy, comedy. Fantasy, fantasy, fantasy. Romance, romance, romance. Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers. What kind of movies do you like? I like comedy movies. What kind of movies do you like? I like fantasy movies. What kind of movies do you like? I like romance movies. Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what kind of movies do you like? What kind of movies do you like? Imagine you like comedies. Do you remember how to say comedy? Comedy. Comedy. Say, I like comedies. I like comedy movies. Now answer the question saying that you like comedies. What kind of movies do you like? I like comedy movies. Now imagine that you like fantasy movies. Do you remember how to say fantasy? Fantasy. Fantasy. Say, I like fantasy movies. I like fantasy movies. Now, answer the question saying you like fantasy movies. What kind of movies do you like? I like fantasy movies. Now imagine you like romance movies. Do you remember how to say romance? Romance. Romance. Say, I like romance movies. I like romance movies. Now answer the question saying you like romance movies. What kind of movies do you like? I like romance movies.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what are you doing during the holiday? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about your holiday plans. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your National Holidays PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
What are you doing for 4th of July?
I'm planning to go to the beach. Listen to it again.
What are you doing for 4th of July?
I'm planning to go to the beach. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what are you doing for the 4th of July? That's
What are you doing for 4th of July?
Independence Day, also known as 4th of July, celebrates the American Declaration of Independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain in 1776. Listen to it again.
What are you doing for 4th of July? What are you doing for 4th of July?
Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is, I'm planning to plan. I'm planning to plan. For example, I'm planning to go to the beach. I'm planning to go to the beach. I'm planning to go to the beach. Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern to talk about your plans. Go to the beach. Go to the beach. Go to the beach. Travel. 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 Stay home. Stay home. Stay home. Go to the movies. Go to the movies. Go to the movies. Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat, or speak along with the native speakers.
What are you doing for 4th of July?
I'm planning to travel.
What are you doing for 4th of July?
I'm planning to stay home.
What are you doing for 4th of July?
I'm planning to go to the movies. Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, "What are you doing for the 4th of July?"
What are you doing for 4th of July?
Imagine you're planning to travel. Do you remember how to say travel? Travel. Travel. Say, I'm planning to travel. I'm planning to travel. Now, answer the question saying you're planning to travel.
What are you doing for 4th of July?
I'm planning to travel. Now, imagine you're planning to stay home. Do you remember how to say, stay home? Stay home. Stay home. Say, I'm planning to stay home. I'm planning to stay home. Now, answer the question saying you're planning to stay home.
What are you doing for 4th of July?
I'm planning to stay home. Now imagine you're planning to go to the movies. Do you remember how to say, go to the movies? Go to the movies. Go to the movies. Say, I'm planning to go to the movies. I'm planning to go to the movies. Now, answer the question saying you're planning to go to the movies.
What are you doing for 4th of July?
I'm planning to go to the movies.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
When learning a new language, everyone should have an ultimate goal to work towards. Whether you want to be able to connect with a relative, easily order food while traveling, or go somewhere new, having an end goal for your learning can be very motivating. A popular but challenging goal is being able to speak like a native speaker. It's difficult to measure exactly when you reach this goal, and it's not something you can pick up using textbooks alone. So how do you work on making your speech more natural? That's what we're going to look at today. Here are 3 tips to help you practice talking like a native speaker. Number 1, focus on vocabulary. If your goal is to speak like a native, you might be really focused on speaking quickly or using as many complex grammar patterns as possible. But in our native languages, we're not always trying to speak as fast as possible, and we use complex grammar patterns when necessary, not to show off. Vocabulary, however, is extremely important to expressing ourselves naturally. Your choice of words can reveal a lot about you and your understanding of the language. Most learners have had the experience of using a phrasebook or a dictionary to find a word they want to use, trying the word in conversation, and getting a look of confusion from the native speaker. In some cases, although your word choice may be grammatically correct, the word may be inappropriate for the situation or totally unnatural. This is especially important in business and other formal situations, where the right level of formality and professionalism is key. Being able to understand nuances in vocabulary words can also help you understand relationships between people just by listening to the conversation. Try to listen to many different types of conversations. Listen to how people talk to their friends, their superiors, and in customer service situations. This will give you a better idea of how to talk to others naturally. In some languages, you can omit words from sentences or use more direct communication styles. It's important to be aware of these things so you can apply them yourself. Colloquialisms and slang are also commonly used in most languages. As this sort of vocabulary is always evolving, it can be difficult to keep up with the latest words. Talk with native speakers and consume media in your target language to make sure you pick up these kinds of expressions. Media is a great resource for your learning. Ultimately, knowing the appropriate vocabulary to use for each situation will really help you sound more knowledgeable. Number 2, perfect your accent. With every language, there are unique pronunciation and intonation challenges. Some languages are tonal languages, and a change in pitch can completely change the meaning of a word. Then there's the fact that most countries have multiple dialects, and so people from one area of the country may sound different from those in another. So what is the best way to listen to a wide range of accents and different pronunciations? Video and audio resources are a great way to do this. YouTube is a perfect place to start because people from all kinds of different backgrounds upload videos to the platform. You can watch educational videos, daily life vlogs, cooking shows, a travel series, whatever interests you. Pay attention to the different ways people speak. Everyone is unique. And then practice speaking like them. This kind of practice can help you sound more natural. One note, please be aware of the type of resources you're using. For example, if you find a video where a speaker uses a rare dialect, it might not be a good idea to use that for your pronunciation practice, unless you have a special reason for studying a specific accent. As a general rule, it's best to try to search for practice resources that use a standard form of the language you're studying. Number 3, copy what you hear. Do you remember how you learned to speak as a child? We rarely learned new words just listening to them, or reading after we learned how. When we were little kids, we imitated the sounds we heard by repeating the sounds out loud. While you're talking to a friend, watching videos, or listening to audio in your target language, you can do this to try and replicate the way they speak. Doing this will help you work on mastering the flow of the language, your accent, intonation, and pronunciation. Of course, you might also pick up some new vocabulary this way. Make sure to repeat new words often. It's a great way to make sure you remember them. Try doing this using a number of different mediums and sources. That way, you'll be exposed to the diversity that the language offers and master the fundamentals of pronunciation. For example, you can watch and imitate several different YouTube videos and audio CDs, but try a few different sources, like different creators or different audio types, to make sure you experience a wide range of communication in your target language. If you're using our language learning program, you can even get your own teacher with Premium Plus. Your teacher can answer questions, give assignments, and even listen to your recordings and give you advice on pronunciation. Completing these kinds of lessons with a native teacher can really boost your confidence in your speaking skills. Becoming able to speak like a native is a popular goal for many people learning a new language. It feels great to be able to communicate smoothly, especially when the people you're talking to expect basic level sentences or broken communication. Try using the tips we've shared in this video to work on improving your speaking skills. Of course, it'll take time and persistence, but the reward will be more natural communication. And for even more tips on speaking, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to use when talking on the phone. After watching this video, you'll be able to ask for someone on the phone and to put someone on hold. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Making a Phone Call PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue. Hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge. Okay, just a moment. Listen to it again. Hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge. Okay, just a moment. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say hello on the phone. That's hello. Hello. Then, you'll need to learn how to say, I'd like to speak with person. The pattern is, I'd like to speak with person. For example, hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge. Hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge. Hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge. Now, how do you answer this question? Okay, just a moment. Listen to it again. Okay, just a moment. Okay, just a moment. Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern to talk on the phone. The person in charge. The person in charge. The person in charge. A sales representative. A sales representative. A sales representative. The manager. The manager. The manager. Customer service. Customer service. Customer service. Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers. I'd like to speak with a sales representative. Okay, just a moment. I'd like to speak with the manager. Okay, just a moment. I'd like to speak with customer service. Okay, just a moment. Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, I'd like to speak with person? I'd like to speak with person. And how do you answer it? Okay, just a moment. Imagine you want to talk to a sales representative. Do you remember how to say a sales representative? A sales representative. A sales representative. Say, I'd like to speak with a sales representative. I'd like to speak with a sales representative. Now say you want to talk to a sales representative and answer it. I'd like to speak with a sales representative. Okay, just a moment. Now, imagine you want to talk to the manager. Do you remember how to say the manager? The manager. The manager. Say, I'd like to speak with the manager. I'd like to speak with the manager. Now say you want to talk to the manager and answer it. I'd like to speak with the manager. Okay, just a moment. Now imagine you want to talk to customer service. Do you remember how to say customer service? Customer service. Customer service. Say, I'd like to speak with customer service. I'd like to speak with customer service. Now say you want to talk to customer service and answer it. I'd like to speak with customer service. Okay, just a moment.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Want to finally start speaking in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 7 ways to practice speaking on your own with our lessons. Let's begin. Number 1, shadowing. Shadowing is a proven learning technique where all you do is repeat what you hear in order to practice speaking. So, access any audio or video lesson on the site and press the play button to start. Then, as you listen or watch, just repeat the conversations. Or, even easier, read along out loud with the dialogue section. The script is right there in front of you. With our lessons, you can master entire conversations, just like that. Number 2, read out loud. I just mentioned it, but reading out loud is another powerful tactic and deserves its own mention. With every lesson, you get written transcripts and translations. So, as you play the lesson, read the dialogue out loud as you hear it. Why? By reading out loud, you're also practicing your speaking skills. You can do this with the lesson notes, the lesson transcript, or the dialogue tool. With the dialogue tool, you can listen to each line again and again, and repeat out loud until you master them all. Number 3, speed up your reading to speed up your speaking. Being able to speak without thinking is a sign of language mastery. If you're talking to a native and can respond quickly, they'll assume that you're fairly fluent. How can you do this? When you read out loud, try increasing your speed a little bit every time. So, start by reading with the dialogue tool. If you're like most learners, you'll read the first line slowly. That's because you're still getting used to the words, which is okay. Reread it. On your second try, you know most of the words, and you'll read a little faster. Reread it again. On your third try, you'll be even faster, at a native speaker's speed. And being able to read these phrases out loud and fast will help you speak fast. Number 4, record and compare yourself with native speakers. In order to sound like a native speaker, you must imitate native speakers. So here's how. Access the voice recorder, which is in the Dialogue Study tool in every lesson. Click on the microphone icon. Listen to the native speaker's audio, and then record yourself. You can then compare the 2 recordings side by side, and practice and try again and again until you perfect your pronunciation. Number 5, get feedback from our Premium Plus teacher. If you're learning by yourself and don't have access to real teachers, then you can always get feedback from our Premium Plus teachers. With the My Teacher tool, you can record yourself speaking and send the audio file to the teacher. They'll review it and tell you what to improve and how. That's it. Number 6, level up your speaking with Premium Plus assignments. With Premium Plus, you can also get assignments that cover reading, writing, listening, and even speaking from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 7, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more lessons on speaking and conversations, visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Conversation. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons that are focused on speaking. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye! Welcome to our first ever evening edition of this series, because the sound in the original video was destroyed. Hi everybody, welcome back to Ask Alicia, the weekly series where you ask me questions and I answer them. Maybe. First question this week. First question this week comes from Patrick. Hi Patrick. Patrick says, I know the basic English words and I understand if someone speaks in English. For example, I understand your videos perfectly, but I have problems building correct English sentences, like when I speak with another person. Do you have any tips for how to build correct sentences? I think that this just comes with practice, honestly. It's difficult to do. But I know that there's not always a person that you can ask for help. I will tell you a secret. When I don't have confidence with something, when I don't know how to answer something, this is what I do. I Google it. Seriously, just Google it. I put quotation marks around like the phrase that I'm trying to make, and then I search Google for it. And if it's there, great. Then that means I can use it. Maybe like thousands of people have used that phrase. I know it's probably a common phrase. If there are no results, then that probably means I've made a mistake somehow. So that's maybe one good way to help you as you try to build phrases by yourself. So try that out. Next question. Next question comes from Huang Se-na. Huang Se-na, hi. I love your name, Alicia. Is Alicia a common name in the US? I happen to have a friend named Alyssa. Also, what's your personal favorite name? A common name in the US? Alicia, I don't think Alicia is so common in the US. And when I was growing up, I didn't have any other friends named Alicia. Also, the spelling of my name is a little strange. Usually it's spelled A-L-I-C-I-A. Maybe you know the artist Alicia Keys. That's how she spells her name. So my name was commonly confused as Alicia a lot. So I've heard like Allison and Alyssa and Ali and so on. Those are fairly common, I think. But Alicia, especially my spelling, is not so common actually. So, what's my favorite name? My favorite name is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Next question. Next question comes from Long. Is the H sound not always pronounced when followed by another consonant? For example, wall hanger or come back home. Yes, the H sound is often pronounced very softly. It's quite difficult to pronounce all of these syllables clearly. Like in the example, come back home, it's quite difficult to say the H sound clearly. So in those cases, it's quite common to make the H sound quite soft, like come back home. Next question. Romeo from Vietnam. Hi again, Romeo. Romeo says, hello, Alicia. Do native speakers say you aren't gonna blah 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 or you're not gonna blah blah blah? Which contracted form is used more? I think they're used equally, like you can choose which you prefer. Me? I think I usually say you're not gonna. I probably use you are. I contract the you are. You're not gonna, or you're not gonna do something. I probably use you're not more often than you aren't gonna. Next question is from Wagner. Wagner? Have you written any operas? Why do American people pronounce English class 101 instead of 101 or 101? Oh, this relates to like university and college level courses actually. So there are 4 levels to universities or to colleges in the US. First year, second year, third year, and fourth year. So the classes for each of those are numbered. So first year classes begin with 1, second year classes with 2, third year classes with 3, fourth year classes with 4. So first year classes, like it tends to be like the basic classes, begin with a 1, and like the most basic of those classes is usually 101. So like English class 101, that's kind of making like a friendly introduction to English, in other words. So we say 101. We always use that sort of pattern when speaking. We don't say 101. We always use 101 or like 124 or like 367. I don't know what those classes are, but we always say each individual number. Nice question though, interesting. Next question is from Danny. Would you tell us about here you are, here you go, there you are, there you go, and here, there, we, you, it, they, we, go. Oh gosh, okay. I'll talk about the ones that you introduced. What do they mean and how do you use them naturally? So let's talk first about here you are and here you go. So we use these when we present someone with something. So you give someone something. Here you are, here you go. Like you are at a restaurant, maybe your order arrives. Here you are, here you go. Something like in a service situation, you might hear this kind of from like a friendly staffish, like staff-related person, I suppose. Here you are, here you go. Or maybe from a teacher to a school child, maybe. Here you go. We use it to like present something, to present an object that maybe they're expecting to receive. Let's talk then about there you go and there you are. So we use there you go when someone is able to do a thing they've been practicing for a while. So for example, if a child is learning how to ride a bicycle and they've been struggling with it for some time, but then gradually they get better at it and they can do it. A parent might say, "Oh, there you go, you got it, you got it." It's like a support word, an encouragement word. There you go. The last one on your list, though, there you are. In American English, we use there you are in a situation where we're looking for someone. We've been looking for someone we're expecting to meet, and it's been difficult to find them. Maybe you visit a few different spots, but then at last you find this person, maybe like in a break room or someplace you might not expect them. But when you do find them and you say, "Oh, there you are," we say it with that sort of intonation. "Oh, there you are." It sounds immediately to the listener like, "Oh, this person has been looking for me." Next question. Next question is from LOJ. LOJ says, "My question is about phrasal verbs. What is the meaning of knocked out?" Like here, example sentence 1. Knocked me out of my possession. Or 2, knocked the wind out of me. I had a problem with the word possession. Knocked me out of my possession. I'm not quite sure. This could refer, though, to, in a very rare situation, we have this word possession, which refers to like this thing called demonic possession, where there's this idea that a bad spirit gets into the body and controls a person's behavior. We call that possession. So we could say like a priest knocked me out of my possession. To go back to your original question, though, the word knock out as a phrasal verb, to knock out means it means forcefully or forcibly remove something. Because of some impact, an object is removed from its original location. So for example, a jogger could be coming at me and they run into me and they knock my phone out of my hands. So in that case, my phone is being removed because of the impact of the jogger. So to knock something out means like to remove from its original location from force. In your second example then, knocked the wind out of me. This is an expression we use which means like to lose our breath because of an impact. So if you get like punched or kicked maybe in this area, you might feel the air in your lungs come out of your body. So we call that the wind in this situation. So like he knocked the wind out of me means he caused me to lose the air in my lungs. The impact was so strong in my body that the air came out of my lungs. So he knocked the wind. So the wind, in this case the air, in my lungs in its original location was removed from me because of this impact. You might also hear this expression in boxing, to knock out or to KO someone, means to cause them to lose consciousness in this case. So consciousness is the thing that's going away in this case. So to knock someone out in like a boxing match means they lose consciousness. In other words, a KO we sometimes say. The first example sentence is not actually so clear to me. So it's also possible there's an error in the original text. I don't know. Alright, so those are all the questions that I want to answer this week. Thank you very much for sending your questions to me. Remember, you can send them to me at EnglishClass101.com/ask-Alicia. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Ask Alicia, and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye! Now I'm totally paranoid about my sound working. Sound. It's still working. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia, and today I am joined again in the studio by
Michael, hello.
And today we're going to be talking about things that were cool in the 90s. So things that were interesting or things that maybe we were interested in the 90s. I'm guessing that we're going to have some very different opinions based on our experiences of the 90s. So let's get right into it. Michael, your first item, please.
Okay. Boy bands. So I remember boy bands were very, very popular when I was a kid in the 90s. I had 3 older brothers who would punch me and tell me, boy bands are for girls, don't like boy bands. So that was my experience with them. And they became kind of uncool, I feel like, after the 90s. And then they never were uncool in like Korea and like a lot of Asian countries. They still had like a strong boy band kind of scene or whatever.
Man bands now.
Is that really what they're called?
No, I don't know. I just mean, I feel like there are boy bands.
That are now becoming boys to men. Maybe that's the... So I mean, now it came, now it came back. Like, what's the British one? Now it's kind of cool again.
Oh, One Direction.
One Direction, yeah. So I think it's come back. It's full circle.
Didn't they just break up? I'm going to go with something that I loved in the 90s. This is probably way too specific. Probably. But it's this show called Doug that was on Nickelodeon. And there weren't a whole lot of episodes of Doug. It was, I don't know, like 20 or 30, I feel like. Not even that many. Did you ever see this show?
Yeah. That's very nostalgic for me. I don't, 20, 30 episodes?
I feel like I'd seen them all, so I know that I saw them all because it would come back. It would come on one day after school, and I'd be like, oh, I've seen this episode. But the whole idea with Doug is Doug was like this plain kid, and he had an older sister. He went to school. He had a dog. He had a best friend, and he would just encounter these everyday life scenarios that would be kind of troubling, or he wouldn't know how to deal with them. But like he was kind of a role model, I feel like. He was kind of being like a good kid. Or sometimes he would get into trouble, but then, eventually he would solve the problem or he'd find a way out of it. So, but I really loved that show. I really loved Nickelodeon in general during the 90s. And yeah, did you watch that channel?
Yeah, of course. I loved Nickelodeon. I think I was more like Fox, stuff like that. But I guess I'll segue into another one of mine. You're talking about wholesome. So something that's my childhood. I was raised on TV was sitcoms.
Yeah.
So I think this has kind of died down again, like the boy bands, where people think it's cheesy. Now it's all reality TV shows, that kind of stuff. But that is my childhood right there. Is Full House and these kinds of shows, step by step, where there's a moral at the end of the story. And so there's always kind of like the protagonist is always like maybe he's unsure, but by the end they know the right thing to do, and they play like the violin, kind of sad, not quite sad, but like heartwarming music, and then they're like, well, and then they give a speech. And as a kid, you don't really like think about it, but that gets into your, like deep, because of Full House, if you lie, I've learned this, it's deep in my subconscious. If you lie, and then you keep lying, it snowballs, and it gets worse and worse and worse. So it's best to just right away tell the truth. That was a really common theme in most sitcoms, I think. That like they're just trying to teach kids, don't lie, it's bad.
Yeah, you're right. Sitcoms are huge. And by the way, sitcoms is a portmanteau meaning two words put together, of situation and comedy. So situation and comedy equals sitcom in this case. Okay, nice. I'm gonna go to my next one. Let's see. I think probably every little girl in the 90s in America anyway knew what this was. I don't know if you knew. It's this brand called Lisa Frank. Lisa Frank. Are you aware of Lisa Frank? Are you aware of Lisa Frank? No? Okay. She knows. She knows who Lisa Frank is. So Lisa Frank is just bright. It was always like brightly colored school supplies. Like pinks and purples and blues, and it would always have unicorns and dolphins and mystical creatures. It was just bright, and everybody, all the girls loved it. I loved it. I had Lisa Frank, just whatever I could get my hands on. It'd be pencils or erasers or just pinks and rainbows and hearts and stuff like that. So I think every girl who grew up in the 90s knows what Lisa Frank is.
Okay. So talking about style and whatnot, grunge. Grunge is something that hits close to home for me, and I think that came out of the 90s. Everybody knows around the world. I think most people know Nirvana, Kurt Cobain. Yeah. And this is something that I guess was brought to the world from Seattle, and it was a music genre, and it was it's like rock, but sometimes slower, almost emo, kind of like sad, usually undertones. But anyways, the style that came with it was the opposite of like the 80s and early 90s of really bright colors. It was the opposite. You just wear holey jeans, you don't really shower that much, you don't shave, and like plaid and just really like dreary colors. So that was really popular. At least I remember in like the early 90s, like mid 90s.
Yeah, and it's as soon as I saw that card grunge, I was like, oh, Nirvana. That's the first thing that comes to mind when I hear grunge. I didn't get into the grunge scene though. I was busy with boy bands, but like grunge for me was never really. I was aware of Nirvana, but I was not of the Nirvana pod. Okay, I'm gonna go to a style point then too, because you've brought up a style point. I'll bring up maybe a female style point. Scrunchies. Still popular, perhaps, among some people. What is a scrunchie? A scrunchie, let's see, I don't have, so there's regular rubber bands that you can use to tie back long hair. He's making an O shape with his hands. Yes, this is very descriptive, Michael. Thank you for that.
I'm the prop, and then you go like this. Digga, 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 digga. There's like the.
I bet there's an awesome video team somewhere that can put like a scrunchie like right here. Anyway, yeah, a scrunchie is just a piece of elastic with some kind of colorful cloth wrapped around it, but when not in use, it would go and it would scrunch. I think this is why we called it a scrunchie. But then when you pulled on it, you could expand it a bit and wrap your hair up in it. And then when you were finished doing that, it would kind of close around it. I had a couple.
Nintendo, any game related stuff. I remember Game Boys, anything handheld. Except when I was a kid, it wasn't like this fancy 3D highly like vibrant colors. It was like black and white, and like you'd play it in the car and you had to squint and it hurts your head, if you're playing too much, you're getting like car sick and you're like, you can barely see Mario.
Are you talking about Game Boy?
Game Boy. Or any, like there was handheld too. There was like Atari and stuff like that, and like Sega. Sega was pretty good, that would light up.
I was thinking about NES when you said Nintendo. I imagined my NES. The one that like when it wasn't working correctly, you could just pull the cassette out and be like, and put it back in.
So you put the cartridge in here, right? And sometimes if it was really stubborn and it didn't work, you would blow into this part. And you try, and it really doesn't make a difference. But you would take turns. Like, me and my brothers would be like, no, you want to be the one to get it to work. So you take turns, you're like, no, let me. And just by luck, it would work. And you're like, see, yeah. No, this is super nostalgic. I love Nintendo.
I have a game, too. Pogs. Did you have Pogs?
Yeah.
Okay, Pogs are simultaneously the most brilliant game and the stupidest game ever invented. They're just discs of cardboard about this size. And on one side, there's a picture. And on the other side, there's just nothing. And then you had a thing called a slammer, which was essentially just a heavy pog that you would use. And you had to use the slammer to flip the plain cardboard ones. What? I don't even know. It was that stupid and forgettable of a game. But it was like crazy when I was about, I don't know, like second or third grade or something. Everybody had Pogs. Like, we had Pog gym days at my school. I remember this vividly.
America, we're really obese. Let's go into the gym and sit there and smash cardboard. That'll solve the problem.
We played Pogs. And, like, I was telling her before we started this, like, one day, like, my mom wanted me to get a haircut, and I was just being stubborn, and I wasn't having it. I was in the mall. I was like, I don't want to get a haircut. She's like, I'll buy you Pogs. And she did. It was like this giant tube of Pogs, and I was just so thrilled, and I agreed to get my haircut. Well, that was a lot of things that were exciting and or popular and or we were into in the 90s. What were you into in the 90s? What was popular in your country? I really have no idea what was popular around the world at that time. Maybe some of these things are similar. Please let us know in the comments. I'm very interested to find out. We read these, by the way. Any thoughts? Any closing thoughts about the 90s? You're not going to sing a song for us? No boy band songs?
Oh, that's copyright. We can't do that. Just like blur that all out.
No, that was very accurate, so I'm sure we can use that. And by very accurate, I mean totally wrong. Clearly, we're very good at talking about the 90s. Okay, but we hope that you are too. We hope that you learned something exciting about the 90s. That's all for us today. Thanks very much for watching, and we will see you again soon. Bye! Welcome back to the internet. Hi everybody, welcome back to Ask Alicia, the weekly series where you ask me questions and I answer them. Maybe. First question. First question comes from Faris Ghazali. How do I stop translating the meaning of English words in my head? I can tell you about the things that have helped me, and maybe they'll help you. I put myself in situations where I could not escape into my native language. In my case, I could not escape into English. I would go out, like for food and drinks with friends who could not speak English. I had no choice but to use a different language with them. 2, something that I've noticed some of my students do that actually kind of bothers me. They bring a dictionary to their lesson and they'll stop conversations in lessons to check words in their dictionary and say a single word at a time instead of just trying to find a different way to explain that. 1, it totally stops the flow of conversation. 2, you don't have really the option to do that in a conversation. Most of the time you're not going to be carrying around your dictionary with you, I hope, unless it's in your phone, I suppose. 3rd, I think that this is a chance to develop a better skill. Instead of trying to translate into English or to translate into a different language, you should think about finding a different way to explain the word you want to use. Let's say, for example, that you want to use the word beautiful, but you can't remember the word. How would you explain that? So think about other ways to communicate an idea, even if you don't have the vocabulary word. So going to your dictionary shouldn't necessarily be the first course of action. It shouldn't necessarily be your first step. Think about a different way to communicate the idea you're trying to communicate. Think of examples to explain the word you're looking for, and then the other person can teach you. Like if you're working with somebody or you're talking with somebody who understands you're not a native speaker, chances are if you can explain the word you're looking for, they will tell you. They will be your teacher. I just explain like with body language sometimes too if I don't know a word. So another thing that really helped me was not just studying vocabulary words, but actually approaching things as phrases. So not saying, okay, this word equals this word in my language, but rather here's a phrase that communicates a meaning that is interesting to me or that I hear my friends use a lot. I'm going to use that phrase. So don't just input. Start outputting too. So hope that's helpful for you. Next question. Next question is from Huang Jiang-ik. Hi. Huang Jiang-ik says, I'm curious, what do you do on your days off? You want to know how to do on my days off? On my days, I'm pretty normal. On my days off, I cook, I go jogging, I sleep, I go listen to my favorite DJs, I see my friends, I eat and drink and watch TV. That's about it. I'm a pretty normal person. Next question. Next question is from Muhammad Sohail. What is the difference between famous and popular? Great question. Famous is something that is well known. Many people know about that thing or that person. Beyonce is famous. The Statue of Liberty is famous. The Eiffel Tower is famous. Popular, however, means many people know about it and it is liked. It has a positive image. So like Beyonce is popular, or like a famous candy is popular, like chocolate cake is popular. It's a famous food and many people like it. So popular is famous plus like a positive image. Sometimes we can use those two words for the same thing. So Beyonce is famous, Beyonce is popular. But famous doesn't always mean they are popular. So someone can be famous for a bad thing. In that case though, it's typically better to use the word infamous. Infamous means famous for a bad reason. So famous for something negative. Next question. Next question comes from, oh, you wrote the pronunciation of your name. Very nice. Aitan, I think. Okay. Hey Alicia, I hope you're well. My level is intermediate. They feel that they're stuck at the intermediate level and want to reach the advanced level. They're watching lots of videos on YouTube, reading academic articles on the web, but still feel that progress has somehow stopped. Could you give me some advice? Okay, you say in your message that you feel your progress somehow has stopped. I have been here too, the intermediate plateau. Like you begin learning a language and it's like, yeah, I'm learning all these things. And then you kind of like plateau. You get to a level where things don't continue and you feel like progress goes much more slowly. I would say in this case, first identify how you feel your progress has stopped. By that I mean, like, do you feel like your vocabulary is lacking? Or do you find that it's hard to listen to people and to understand what they're saying? Do you find it's hard to write? Is it hard to read things? So first identify what is that thing that you feel like you're not good at, and then start to approach your further studies with that as the focus. I think that if you can think about your different skill sets, your different levels in reading, writing, speaking, and listening, you can identify which of those 4 things is weakest for you and start there. So when you feel your progress has stopped, think like, okay, what am I not good at doing? And then focus your time there. So maybe that's a helpful first step for you. Hope that helps. Next question. Next question comes from Kiara. Kiara asks, I'll help you studying and I'll help you to study. What is the correct one? Thanks. I'll help you something. I'll help you do this. So just the regular plain form of the verb I would suggest is probably the most natural choice. Thanks for the question though. Next question. Next question comes from Sharif Ahmed? Okay. Should I use the singular or plural verb after colloquial names? For example, my team have won the match or has won the match. Okay, in this case, my team has won the match. My team has won the match. So use the singular form of the verb, like same as like he has or she has. My team has is the correct answer here. Next question. Next question comes from Jeffrey. Hi, Jeffrey. Jeffrey asks, sometimes I watch movies and some characters say, you wish, with a very angry attitude, or I wish in other situations. What do these two sentences mean and how do I use it? Aha, interesting question. Okay, when someone responds with you wish to a negative suggestion, it's like they're mutually together, they're recognizing that they don't like each other. So usually the first character will say something like, make a negative suggestion, like you should leave town and get a different job, like leave us alone, something like that. And then the other character will say, yeah, you wish, like, yes, this character recognizes you want me to do that, yes, but I'm not going to do that, in other words. So it's sort of like a challenge. So this person says like this negative suggestion, the other person recognizes this suggestion, says, no, I'm not going to do that, but I know you want me to do that. So you wish in this way means it's like a negative challenge. They're kind of fighting, recognizing they dislike each other. So that's one. The other one, what was the other one? So I wish, we talked about I wish in the previous episode of Ask Alicia, so please check that out. But essentially, I wish refers to something that we cannot do now, or something that is different from the present situation, but we want to happen, or we want to be able to do. So please check the last episode of Ask Alicia for more about I wish, like the positive meaning. Next question. Next question is from Romeo Liu from Vietnam. Hello, Romeo. Could you please explain what the expression try as I may means? This is usually used in an expression that's sort of negative, like even though I'm trying my best, it's difficult for me to do this thing. So try as I may, I just can't get a new job. Or try as I may, I just can't earn that much money. Or try as I may, I just can't seem to cook this dish, for example. So even though I'm giving my best effort, even though I'm really working hard, this other thing just isn't happening for me. So it's sort of like a sad or like a disappointed or unhappy expression, actually. Thanks for the question, Romeo. Okay, so those are all the questions for this week's episode of Ask Alicia. I hope that they were useful for you. If you would like to submit a question, remember you can send them to me at englishclass101.com/ask-alicia. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Ask Alicia, and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye. I talk too much. I'm late for work.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at englishclass101.com.
I have purchased a microphone. What can you do with a new mic? Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. Welcome back to Ask Alicia, the weekly series on our YouTube channel where you ask me questions and I answer them. Maybe. So please remember you can submit your questions to me at englishclass101.com/askalicia. First question. A lot of you have asked about what to do to get a voice that sounds like mine. When I'm making these videos, I'm specifically trying to speak clearly, so I'm clearly separating my words. The way that I talk with my friends and the way that I talk regularly is a bit different than the way that I talk on this channel. But if you want to try to get this kind of pronunciation, the best advice I have is just to repeat this kind of pronunciation. It depends on your goal. If you want to learn to speak like me or to speak like somebody else that you really admire, you should try to mimic them. That's what I do, and that's actually a strategy that I use when I study other languages as well. So if I hear something interesting, that a vocabulary word that a friend has used, like in Japanese for example, or they have a really good intonation, or just the way they deliver, the way they say something is really interesting to me, or I want to be able to use that too,
I put that in my head, I think about that, and then I try to replicate that. I try to copy that, essentially. To make this explanation shorter, mimic. Mimic. If you want to learn to speak like me, mimic me. If you want to learn to speak like somebody else, try to mimic someone else. But just keep in mind that the way that I talk in these videos is different from the way that I talk in real life. Next question, what does the word lit mean? What does the word lit mean? Lit is actually a slang word. It's common slang among young people, especially in the US right now. Maybe many of you know that the verb to light has the past tense lit. Lit is used to talk about, for example, a party or some kind of social gathering, usually, that's really exciting or that's really, really fun or that's kind of crazy. So lit, using the past tense there, you can kind of imagine that like a fire, when you light a fire, it gets bigger and it gets kind of wild, a little bit crazy, like there's a spark and then it starts. So if you see the word lit, like this party was lit, it means it was really crazy, it was really good, it was really fun. You can use it if you want, but just keep in mind that really young people use that word. I don't use that word for reference, but again, I'm not cool. Next question, what is correct? I thought you were gone, or I thought you are gone. I thought you are gone. We need to use I thought you were gone here. I thought you were gone. So I thought, past tense, and you were is also past tense. It's a past tense thought, past tense situation. So please use past tense. Yeah. Next question, also maybe about were and was. Why do we use if I were and not if I was? This is a great question, and actually a lot of native speakers make mistakes with this. It's a small point, to be fair, but if you want to be correct, you should always use if I were. This is a grammar point. It refers to the subjunctive mood. The subjunctive mood. An explanation of subjunctive is a bit beyond the scope. It's a bit much for this video, but we will always use if I were. When the subject there is I in the conditional, if I were, we always use were. You will hear native speakers say if I was, if I was. If you want to be extremely strict and extremely nitpicky, were is actually the correct one, but if you use was, if you make a mistake and you use was, you will still be understood. So, but yes, this is related to the subjunctive mood in English. Next question. Okay, next one isn't really a question, but something I have noticed that many of you do. You like to put the article a or an before your adjective, before an adjective, but you forget to use a noun. Do you know how like Mario introduces himself and he says, "It's a me"? When you forget to use some kind of noun after your adjective or whatever, that you sound a bit like Mario's. It's a nice, it's a nice, it's a nice what? It's funny to me, like, it's a nice, or it's a me. You need to include the noun that you're referring to. It's a nice video, or it's a nice explanation. It's nice, or it's bad, or it's good, or this was a nice explanation. But don't forget to use your noun after you use the adjective. It's a nice something. It's a good something. It's a bad something. So please, no article without a noun. Make sure to use your noun, and it should be in the singular form. If you're using a or an, you need to use the singular form of the noun. Don't sound like Mario. Next question. What does it mean they can't take that away from me? Who are they? And what does take away mean? We use the word they to mean generally, just other people outside of us. This is used a lot to talk about like news or to talk about general opinion. They say that this pizza is the best pizza in the city right now. They say that your English will only improve if you study every day. They say that the most difficult thing you can do in your life is move to another country. They is just anyone. Second point, what does take away mean? Take away means to some object that belongs in one location is removed from that location. Like take away food. In American English, we use take out, actually. But take away food is a similar idea, especially like in British English, take away. So you take away your food from the restaurant. So you're taking something else. You're removing your food from the restaurant. So in the expression, they can't take that away from me, they, meaning other people outside you can't take something away from you. Next one. What does the phrase "don't be a creep"? Don't be a creep mean? I think Michael talked about this on an old English topics video. So I talked in a live stream about the word creepy, adjective creepy. So something that causes like nervous suspense is something that's creepy. The word creep is used as a noun. Don't be a creep. A person who is creepy. A guy can be a creep. A girl can be a creep. So a creep is someone who causes creepy feelings. Like, oh, something bad might happen. I feel nervous. Like, that person's a little strange, a little weird. That person is a creep. He's a creep. She's a creep. So don't be a creep means you should not behave like a creep. Don't create nervous feelings in the other person. Don't be a creepy person. Don't be a creep. Everybody, that's good advice. Don't be a creep. Don't be a creep. Try to be a nice and understanding and respectful person, always. Next question. Oh, that was my last one for this week. All right, so those are my favorite questions, or the questions that I wanted to talk to you about this week. I hope that those are some useful points for you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know at englishclass101.com/askalicia. That's where you can submit your questions to me. It makes it very easy for me to check and see all the questions in one place. So definitely check that out. I think you can sign in with your regular englishclass101.com account and submit as many questions as you want. And then I'll choose what I like and what I want to talk about. And of course, if a lot of you ask the same question, I'll definitely try to answer that too. So please check that out, englishclass101.com/askalicia. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Ask Alicia, and I'll see you again next week. Bye!
What are the things I can do with my microphone, I wonder? I feel like I had some ideas for this when I was laying in bed last night, and now I've forgotten them all. Oh, now I can take my videos on the road and be like a golf reporter. Yes, the ball is rolling. Why am I Russian? I'm a Russian golf reporter now. Oh, maybe I'll be a beatboxer. How do you do that? Oh.
Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Dude, the grocery store is closed.
Isn't there another one nearby?
I don't know. I've never been here before.
Check your GPS again. Are you sure you put in the data correctly?
Yes, I am. The screen is marking this part of Baltimore as the endpoint.
All I wanted was some bananas. Is that too much to ask?
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Check. To examine, to review, to look at, to look again at something. Check.
GPS.
Abbreviation for Global Positioning System.
GPS.
Bananas. Bananas.
Ask. To request an answer to a question. Ask.
Grocery.
Items of food sold in a grocery store.
Grocery.
Nearby. Near, in the immediate area. Nearby.
Correctly.
In a way that is true, factual, or appropriate.
Correctly. Screen.
A fixed or movable, upright partition used to divide a room.
Screen. Part.
A piece or segment of something.
Part. Data.
Facts and statistics collected together for reference.
Data.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Dude, the grocery store is closed.
Isn't there another one nearby?
I don't know. I've never been here before.
Check your GPS again. Are you sure you put in the data correctly?
Yes, I am. The screen is marking this part of Baltimore as the endpoint.
All I wanted was some bananas. Is that too much to ask?
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson. Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Hello, ma'am. We'll be landing in Minneapolis in a few minutes, and I need you to turn off your computer for landing.
Oh, sorry about that. I guess I lost track of the time.
That's all right. Is there anything you need before we land?
Oh, no. I've been to Minneapolis many times before. I'm well prepared for the cold.
That's good. I heard it's one of the coldest capital cities in the USA.
That's exactly right. I always bring clothes I can layer up with.
Now you will hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Prepared.
To be made ready for use.
Prepared. Prepared.
Track. Course marked for something to follow.
Track. Track.
Clothes. Fabric worn on body.
Clothes. Clothes. Capital.
Most important city or town of a country or region.
Capital. Capital. Layer.
A sheet, quantity, or thickness of material.
Layer. Layer. Coldest.
Of or at the lowest or relatively lowest temperature.
Coldest. Coldest.
Computer. Electronic machine which can store information.
Computer. Computer. Landing.
The act of coming or bringing something to land.
Landing. Landing.
Minute.
Unit of time that is 60 seconds.
Minute. Minute.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Hello, ma'am. We'll be landing in Minneapolis in a few minutes, and I need you to turn off your computer for landing.
Oh, sorry about that. I guess I lost track of the time.
That's all right. Is there anything you need before we land?
Oh, no. I've been to Minneapolis many times before. I'm well prepared for the cold.
That's good. I heard it's one of the coldest capital cities in the USA.
That's exactly right. I always bring clothes I can layer up with.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson. Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Are you ready to do the safety demonstration, David?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, I just get a bit of stage fright sometimes.
Didn't you practice in school?
No. My first time was last Tuesday on our way to St. Louis. I've only done it once before.
Oh, don't worry. You'll get used to doing the safety demonstration. It's really easier than you think.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Fright.
A sudden intense feeling of fear.
Fright. Fright. Safety.
The condition of being protected from harm.
Safety. Safety. Sometimes.
At times, now and then, occasionally.
Sometimes. Sometimes. Demonstration.
A practical exhibition and explanation.
Demonstration. Demonstration. School.
An institution for education.
School. School. Practice.
Perform or exercise repeatedly or regularly.
Practice. Practice.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Are you ready to do the safety demonstration, David?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, I just get a bit of stage fright sometimes.
Didn't you practice in school?
No. My first time was last Tuesday on our way to St. Louis. I've only done it once before.
Oh, don't worry. You'll get used to doing the safety demonstration. It's really easier than you think.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson. Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary, followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Excuse me, I'm not from San Jose. Could you tell me how to get to Alexander's, please?
Alexander's? You mean the little steakhouse on the corner?
I'll bet that's it. I'm a flight attendant and my crew is supposed to meet me there in a few hours.
Well, it's 3 streets that way, then turn left. There's a big sign that says Alexander's.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Steakhouse.
A restaurant that specializes in serving steaks.
Steakhouse. Attendant.
A person employed to provide a service.
Attendant. Streets.
Public roads in a city or town.
Streets. Corner.
An angle where 2 or more sides meet.
Corner.
Flight.
Act of flying.
Flight.
Crew.
A group of people who work on and operate some kind of ship.
Crew.
Turn. To move in a particular direction. Turn.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Excuse me, I'm not from San Jose. Could you tell me how to get to Alexander's, please?
Alexander's? You mean the little steakhouse on the corner?
I'll bet that's it. I'm a flight attendant and my crew is supposed to meet me there in a few hours.
Well, it's 3 streets that way, then turn left. There's a big sign that says Alexander's.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free English ebook before it's gone.